there's now the time where there's real pressure. This is Elder. Rapha, I think, did exceedingly well against Dahang on this map. So, actually, no, I believe that's no. I think they was extremely close, actually. So we'll see what Zorak can do.
So in
I think he likes this map.
We saw Zorak take a lot of advantage from the fact that he was able to hit a lot of ninja rails. We're not going to have the option for that for the first couple minutes here in Elder. You know, he's going to be forced into some of these closer range, more huggy fights.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how he deals.
Absolutely. Guys, we are going into map number 3 here. It is the tiebreaker between Rapha and Zorak. Zorak's going to get Mega Slide, Rapha will get red, top yellow, and he will have access to the key. And that's always a nice little advantage.
So we'll already have Rocket Launcher in the hands of Zorak, giving him an edge for just a second as Rapha picks up his own, as well as LG. Taking a look at Zorak, he's only got Plasma and Rockets right now. He's at the top of the map. He can kind of disengage from this fight at will, but Rapha can essentially trap him at whatever item that Zorak wants to commit to.
I think it's a shame that Zorak allowed Rapha to get onto the rocket launcher so easily. I would have liked him to maybe spam that down a bit more. And I think I just saw Zorak walking across the other side of the map, so he should be able to get to the LG fairly soon if Rapha doesn't burn himself too much.
But that Mega's going to be up, and Rapha coming through that door actually allows Zorak to take a lot of damage off of Rapha in this fight. But it's going to be that first frag going over to Rapha, winning him the Mega as well.
Yeah, Zorak getting taken by surprise by those rockets. Rapha using that access on the door up here in order to help himself win that frag.
So again, I'm wondering how this made Zorak is that he can't just sit in the back corridors and rail Rapha right now. He won't have that option for another minute. And I'm wondering if he's just biding his time until that.
He might do. This is an extremely slow map, arguably slower than Lost World. He'll definitely be trying to do that. And again, his LG is allowing him to do some good damage.
We'll see if he commits to this Mega. Oh, this could be Rapha getting the grab, kind of bullying him off of it and forcing Zorak to the other end of the map. And Zorak is still actually kind of hanging back over here by the door. He's only got Rockets and LG. He's going to be kind of noisy up here. I mean, Rapha's essentially ticked off every place on the map that Zorak isn't, so he's got it pretty well corralled at this point.
About 10 seconds until the rail's up. I think that'll be important. But Zorak is up the bounce pad to kill Tower a lot. That's a very easy damage for Rapha to get.
Great movement out of Zorak.
Sneak across, actually, so he'll get himself a top yellow. Rapha is going to get on Mega, but he should be able to get the red armor as well. And I think Rapha's just trying to make sure, as long as I control every single big item and I'm doing a rail's worth of damage between them.
I know you weren't looking, but right on cue, Zorak was going for that rail. In fact, he was crouching to get under the wall as it was lifting up. It was like, nope, it's time for me to play this. But to his credit, he's only lost a single frag in the opening 2 minutes. Now Rapha's going to be getting his own rail, and this fight just became rather different.
There's only 100-100 for Rapha. He's going to try and get himself the lower yellow. But Zorak's not a million miles behind. If there's any way for him to delay Rapha over here and get the red, then it would be an absolute godsend for him, but he's just not able to do that.
And Zorak's still playing a very similar game to what he was doing in Sinister. He doesn't have a whole lot of resources. He's just looking for opportunities to take rails off of Rapha, even if it means giving up some items. But it looks like he's actually going to be getting that red armor finally. Rapha at the other end of the map looks like he's wanting to trap him out and finally come face to face with him.
Rapha didn't, I don't think he heard the red get taken.
No, his timing's
yeah,
off.
he doesn't have a damn clue when it's up. What Rapha complete mistime there. This is going to open up the Mega for Zorak.
Oh, Zorak still ends up eating 2 rails, but now he knows that Rapha is sort of on tilt in terms of red timing. Seeing Rapha show up to a pad and sit on it 15 seconds early, I don't think I've seen that ever
this is
happen.
going to be a kill though. Zorak getting caught out in the air. Last rocket there. Rapha makes it 2-0 and eventually gets hold of the red timing again. Big shame for Zorak that it worked out that way. Maybe if he used a different route, it would have helped a lot. He gets the railgun immediately, and he's going to have to back off as he's almost railable at this point.
Yeah, they're going to be trading shots here, but Zorak needs to grab a few more yellows before he can really afford to do that.
Zorak just jumped into the little lava area behind the teleporter exit. That's we didn't even get to see that at all. You just saw the little suicide sign at the top. That's disappointing for him.
Great disturbance.
4 minutes of this game have been played already. It's time for Zorak to really be hatching together a plan, and losing all the weapons and any kind of stack that he had at that point is just bad news.
Well, we're looking at 2-1 now here Rapha almost completely reversing the score that we saw on Lost World. And Rapha, ooh, look at this. He's just floating above, knowing that Zorak's going to be desperate for that rail and looking to ambush him on an exit. And yeah, this is going to hurt a lot. If Zorak doesn't get stuffed back into this hole, he's going to have a lot of problems getting out. And there it is.
Oh dear. Map number 3, Elder, seems to be very convincing, a dominant for Rapha.
But we've seen Zorak make these comebacks before already in this series.
That's true, but I think he had to go through Lost World, which was a map that he was so close to winning. I think maybe he's already heartbroken, and this is losing confidence for him. But you know, having spoken to him, he says he doesn't really feel the pressure at the LAN. But I think that might not be true. When you're in that position, when you're
to
about
an extent,
to win,
you're going
it could
to
change a
it's
lot.
biology. But Zorak, you know, he was able to take a lot back in Sinister just on account of having so many potential rail traps. And here, he doesn't look as confident with his rail angles. He's taken a few off of Rapha, but it's nowhere near as consistent.
Zorak backing off. He gets a direct rocket, and he's going to be able to pick up a yellow. But again, you never really see him getting any kind of decent stack.
And again, Rapha with a sneaky play. Yeah.
Wow. Rapha just outsmarting Zorak at the moment. And also, I don't even feel like the key has had such a massive effect on the game. It's just Rapha is reading Zorak far better.
No, Zorak's movement, I was watching it, especially on the upper tentacle, has gotten really smooth as of, you know, who needs a door? Door opens too slow anyway.
Well, Rapha actually missing a lot of shots there. Teleporter exit. Zorak pushing forward. He has got some good damage here. Is he going to try and make a play on this? He knows he's feeling desperate at the moment. The LG from Rapha runs out of plasma gun. Zorak going to lose one more frag.
But that's the right idea. I mean, he has nothing to lose at this point except, you know, the map. But just going face first against Rapha with the plasma gun, he took so much stack off of him, and he removed a lot of Rapha's ability to just kind of bully Zorak around the map. And now he might be looking to rinse and repeat. Oh, he sneaks one
health.
He
gets the kill. Okay. We saw Zorak do a pretty impressive 6 frag comeback on Sinister. I guess this isn't totally out of the question, but Rapha knows that he cannot lose this. Oh, it's going to be another kill. All right.
And once again, I'm seeing Zorak just seeming to find Rapha at these inopportune moments just again and again and again. That's so uncharacteristic. I'm not used to seeing that in a match against Rapha.
And he's actually got more time to make this large comeback than he did on Sinister even.
Yeah, I'm wondering right now, just objectively on the map, like how many opportunities does Rapha have to kind of hide and peek compared to Sinister? And I'm wondering if it's not as much. Zorak's going to try to force him out of this hole. He's got the key. He can put a lot of pressure. We hear the lower YA? Yeah, Rapha moves across to the other YA side. Zorak can steal it off of him. Rapha's going to try to push it and get it, and he gets it anyway. Ooh.
That might shut down the game, to be honest. Zorak, he needed the kill just now, and he just walks into 2 facial rockets. That's brutal.
He saw Rapha with plenty enough time to get over to the YA room and kind of draw that line, but rockets did not go his way.
I think that might have just been the game-winning moment. I think Zorak is going to have to go Super Saiyan if he wants to have a chance to bring him anywhere near the score level Rapha's sitting on at the moment.
Let's talk about experience, though. I mean, like you said, Zorak has been playing a lot, but for a far shorter amount of time than Rapha has. Rapha is almost as veteran as it gets at this point. Zorak is doing quite well. He's proving himself.
Well. Yeah. I think he's going to be really disappointed again about last map, and I can't stop reiterating that point because it was his. It was a free win for him the way the beginning went and the way that Rapha was tilting. I think Rapha's actually kind of lucky that he won the last map, given that it was clear Rapha wasn't playing with a clean head or clean mindset going into sort of the second minute of that Lost World. But with a 9-1, Rapha, he's going to be feeling a bit happier. Maybe still a tiny bit tilted that he lost out on Sinister at the beginning. Whoa. The key's pressed and Zorak gets himself another kill. You've got 1 minute and 15 seconds, buddy, to make everything happen. 1 rail, 1 more.
It's not going to happen.
Oh no, Rapha's he may have had the yellow stack actually at the top. He really need more than just 1 more rail.
A little bit. But taking a look at the just general scores here, taking a map off of Rapha or any player in the top 4 is just so critical right now. Even if it's somebody like Zorak, whose team hasn't really been able to perform in TDM or CTF all that well, being able to take a map off of Rapha actually kind of affects us moving forward.
And you know, like when Ghost Squad took a map off MD, you know how that changed
that forced
the bracket quite a lot.
them to play against what, Break in round 3.
And that means Rapha's points level will be slightly off, so maybe he could be going up against Cypher in round 2. Who knows? We'll have to have a look afterwards and see what happens. But here in the final 20 seconds, Rapha's going to make it 11-2, and Zorak's going to call it GG right there. And he's going to forfeit it. So valiant effort there from Zorak. But look at both of the players. 69% rail for Zorak, 72% rail for Rapha. They're hitting it incredibly, these guys. And it's down to control. Both of them are pretty reliable with the rest of the work they're doing. Although I do feel that Zorak could have done better with the plasma. Because even on Lost World, there were some moments where his plasma could have been a little bit better, and he would have even got the kill with a few health remaining.
I think some of it has to come down to maybe map practice as well, because Rapha just had so many more opportunities and angles to leverage that rail against Zorak than the other way around.
Yeah, and I think maybe Zorak only really started getting a hang of what he should be doing on Elder a bit too late, 6 minutes in. We are trying to get Rapha for an interview at the moment, so we'll probably take a short break in a second. But I'm going to see if we have any sort of brackets updated quickly to see if I can let you know of maybe some standings. And
because like yesterday,